their homes. Tonowari, the clan chief, is excited to see them, but Ronal, the Shahik, made it to Tonowari, is wary of them since their entrance may lead to an invasion by sky people or humans. Since members of the Sully family have human heritage, they are first looked down upon by the rest of the clan. However, they rapidly gain the clan's respect by adjusting to the new way of life. After being tricked by Tonowari's son Aonung and his pals, Loak finds himself in a precarious situation when he is left adrift in the seas, threatening his life. Payakan, a Tulkun, comes to Loak's rescue when she is in danger from a ferocious marine predator. Tulkuns are whale-like entities with exceptionally high levels of intelligence. They adhere to a philosophy of non-violence and have developed a family bond with Metkainas. When Loak returns, he is reprimanded for communicating with Payakan, who, following the clan's beliefs, is a murderer and an outcast. Loak finds it hard to believe and eventually creates a Sahelu relationship with Payakan to see via his memories the cruelty of human whalers killing his family, and Payakan is innocent. Loak finds out through Payakan's memories that human whalers killed Loak's family. He is disheartened by the fact that he cannot persuade anyone else of it. He can empathize with Payakan since he also feels like an outsider, perhaps much more so than before. Sireya, the daughter of Ronal and Tonowari, becomes Loak's buddy, and he eventually confides in her the truth about Payakan. In the meantime, the party of youngsters continues their exploration of the waters, and Sireya leads them to the holiest location in all of Metkaina, the Cove of the Ancestors. Another tree of spirits has been planted in the ocean to connect to Ewa at this location, which is a counterpart to the Vitraya Ramunong at Omatikaya. Kiri, enthralled by the underwater beauty of Metkaina, forges a Tsahelu with it and eventually comes face to face with her mother, Grace. Kiri's vision shatters, and she begins having seizures as she is swimming in the ocean when she questions Grace about her paternity. Jake was cautioned by Norm and Max, who responded to his distress call, not to allow Kiri to develop a relationship with the Metkaina Tree of Souls, since doing so may lead to Kiri's death. Norm and Max had arrived at Jake's location. In the meantime, Quaritch led his squad to island settlements as they followed Norm and Max's aerial signal to the coast. Once there, they began to torture the locals and eventually killed their Elu leader, a friendly aquatic plesiosaur-like creature used by aquatic clans for transport. Spider is appalled beyond measure by their viciousness, and she begs them to stop, but to no effect. After seeing the behavior of the indigenous in response to the killing of their fellow beings, Quaritch has devised a plan to go on a Tulkun hunting rampage with the assistance of a cruel and crafty whaler. They are attempting to coax Jake Sully out of his hiding place on the island. The Tulkuns are a spiritual family that belongs to one of the aquatic Navi tribes. The pursuit and wanton massacre of a pod of Tulkun that follows is a gruesome, gut-wrenching chain of events that follows. Tonowari's family considered the pod to be a spiritual extension of their own family, and Ronal considered the cow of the pod to be his spiritual sister. Jake manages to discourage the Metkaina clan from going to war with humans by informing them that a frontal attack will only result in greater reprisal and, in the end, the death of their tribe. The Metkaina clan is devastated by this awful massacre and prepares to go to war with humans. The other Navi children immediately follow Loak's lead and dash off to alert Payakan about the impending threat. They discover Payakan being pursued by Quaritch and the whalers, who had previously shot him with a tracking dart before beginning their pursuit. The youngsters successfully attempt to save Payakan, but Quaritch apprehends Loak, Tuk, and Sireya. As a result of Jake and Neytiri's realization that a confrontation with Quaritch is unavoidable, they travel to the location together with Tonowari, Ronal, and a fleet of Metkaina. Before they engage in combat, Quaritch issues a request to Jake, telling him that he either turns himself in or watches his children perish. Ronal expresses her pent-up anger and places the responsibility for the disappearance of the Tulkuns and their current situation squarely on Jake's shoulders. Guilt-ridden, Jake vows to surrender himself. At the same time, Payakan discovers that Loak is being held hostage, and he launches an assault on the whalers to divert their attention. Seeing that they have a window of opportunity, Jake and his comrades decide to launch their assault on Quaritch and RDA. Payakan successfully brings about the whaler's desired end by ensuring that his ship is sunk and that he dies a horrible death. While everything is going on, Spider makes the most of the chance to escape his captivity by destroying the controls of the ship he is imprisoned on. Although he was able to save his brother Spider and his sisters, Netiam was killed while trying to escape. Sireya,